Welcome back to Quackerville, and the question we're all asking is why? Yes, or why not indeed? Yes, we're going to be looking at constructing a custom exhaust from various bits and pieces available to us, thanks to China and Great Britain. Well, they fit beautifully, which is a right result, so thank you Team GB. And when we look at the other end, we've got a discrepancy here, but I knew that was going to happen. And so these are pipes 1 and 2, and what I didn't do was cut that inner bore out of the ones that were not welded, so I cut these ones and I just slit these out. So once we get everything kind of lined up back on the cylinder head over here, yes, it's all under wraps, we'll then adjust these accordingly so that this fits beautifully like it does. Then we're down to one pipe there, which, yes, that's supposed to fit the other pipe. Yes, these boys that came on the slightly faster boat from China, and they fit too. How sweet is that? Bit of a hole there. Might have to chop that out. So that's rather cool. This is all coming together nicely with no welding involved, so probably end up looking a bit like that, right? Because the two pipes will come into here fairly horizontal, I would think, and then this will flare out at a slight angle, and then we just need, well, I don't know if we need anything yet, but we might need a little silencer on the end. We'll see. So this here split kind of indicates that these are designed to go outside and then you clamp them on, and we got the reverse situation here. So what I'll probably do is cut this adapter down to here, just cut it straight off so there's no gap, and then what I'll probably do, maybe along the weld, is just put a split in these boys. I haven't got much room to play with. A small split, and then one of our super duper hose clips, one of these boys, clamped over that. So that's all jolly exciting. Right, let's trim these off. Obviously that was hot, and one should always wear gloves in these kind of processes, unless one has gnarly old fingers like me that are kind of made of asbestos or something. Right, time to clean them up, I guess. What should we start with? Well, let's get the worst of the grease and grime off. I think we'll just sand them a little, because we're going to have to paint them. Yeah, they're not pretty. And they're not going to get pretty in a hurry. And there's a few little dings and whatever. So, they're going black. Which is lucky, because we've got some black paint left. Do I want to paint them, or do I want to wrap them? I don't like exhaust wrap. It soon looks a bit shit. I did it on the Ducati Monster. I did it on the Suzuki GS550. It looked very cool on that. It's just a little bit of red. On the Ducati, it was just a little bit of gold here and there. And I don't think I want to do that on this, because I painted the Yamaha ones and they look good still, even though they've been kicking around the garage and I've been doing all kinds of stuff with them. Yes. So yeah, I think we'll just the option to wrap them later, like I did on the Ducati, right? I painted it gold, it went salmon pink, so I wrapped it. So that's number 4 and number 3 in the Y, and here we are at the top. Again, a little bit of discrepancy, but a little bit of wiggling and whatever, and they're good, and they don't need welding. I mean, yeah, technically they probably do. It's a pretty bloody tight fit. Especially by the time we get a coat of paint on it. Unlike the Yamaha, it's not one unit, so I'm going to have to do each one individually, which is a little bit tedious. Anyway, I have a plan. Roughed up with some serious old sandpaper and yeah, that, and then acetone, and now, yeah, hanging out to dry. Well, got to paint it first. Everything that needs to be covered is covered. Everything else will get a light coating of black, I suppose. Nice, 2 coats in as many minutes. And yes, just repeat the process 4 times. 3 down, 1 to go. Meanwhile, mark these up for trimming, and still debating what I'm going to do about these in terms of melding the 2 together, because they do need some melding. I think I am going to split that down to there. Just put a little cut in, then we can put one of those clamps on and we're good to go. So there they are, all cut down and finished up on that, and then of course rat tail file for the inside, and yeah, it's my granddad's, still works. Okay, so there's those little cuts along the weld. Let's see if we want to clamp one up just for fun. Sweet, finally we got something the right bloody size, in stock as it were. So yeah, that fits. Okay, let's get the other bit. Sweet, that fits. All good, lovely. There we go, ready to rock and roll. How cool is that? Nice, love it. And there's the last pipe. Sweet. While we're waiting for our fancy green nuts, I thought I'd test fit one side at least. And seeing as this side's kind of available, I've cleaned up the threads, and these are 6mm, which is quite unusual. Usually 8, if not 10. So we're going to need number 3 and number 4, and this one needs a little bit more paint, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a little bit thin on the ground there. Anyway, let's start at number 3. That looks much better. All our carefully wrapped pieces. Going to need some of them and some of those. Cool. By the way, we haven't got the gaskets either. No. They should be coming Saturday, but God knows when the bolts or the nuts are coming. So these boys fit something like that. Yeah. You can just buy like an entire collar piece, a single piece, which I did debate doing. They weren't that expensive. I might still. But anyway, let's test fit them with the original ones, which we've painted up black as well. Not least of all, it'd be one less piece to juggle. So yes, I mean, we've got 4 pieces here already. So I've used a bit of tape just to hold those roughly in place, as you can see. See how that works out. Well, obviously it worked beautifully for the test fit, but it won't work for the actual fit because I can't get the tape off. Because it's buried in there. Yeah. Oh, I guess it would burn off fairly quickly, but we don't really want that. So I have to work out another way of doing it when it comes to the actual thing. But for now, that's good. Well, did this one without tape. A little bit of a fiddle, but not too bad. But that said, you know, you can see it's not seated properly in there. So I think I may well investigate those single pieces. Much better idea. Anyway, yeah, so they're just not even snug, honestly. So we can move them around a bit. Yeah, because now we want to see what the other end of things looks like. And there we have it. Yeah. Kind of cool. I like that. And the exit's just behind the footrest. That's kind of perfect, honestly. If we do need to fit some kind of muffler silencer or whatever, if we get a short one, it's going to kind of line up with that rear foot peg mount, one way or another. You know, we can twist this round if we need to, bring it up more. But if we're going for the Suzuki style, as in the GS550 that I did, then it will just exit there with no baffles whatsoever. Nothing at all baffling about this. Well, that's rather lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, rather lovely and discreet, unlike the rest of the bike with its bright green. Well, I'm sure it won't be discreet in terms of the loudness involved. But yeah, so this is what I've been looking at, which I think will work a lot better than the current situation, which are these guys, which is what we've got. So yes, I think I'm going to upgrade and modify. So the only issue that remains is how to secure that connection. Because, I mean, it's good, but at the end of the day, once exhaust starts blowing out of it, it's just going to blow off. So, I don't know. But I do have an idea. Yes, in an ideal world, you'd weld it because you had a welder, but I haven't. So, screw it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a screw or a bolt through it, because at that stage it's just holding it on. Yeah, it doesn't matter if a little bit leaks out, because we're not probably going to put a silencer on it anyway, so yeah. Well, typically they arrive the very next day. Yes, the exhaust gaskets. So I'm going to remove all this again and have a look at the situation here. I've marked up where that Y piece joins the downpipes, and I'm going to have to look at that situation and then probably snug everything back up, even with the wrong nuts, because we can always replace them later, one by one. But I'm not going to crush the gaskets either, I'm just going to snug it, like I said. Interestingly, and on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably about a 3, but these gaskets have a round side and a flat side, so I'm not quite sure which is supposed to go where. 50-50 chance, so whatever I decide is probably going to be wrong. Isn't that right, Mr. Stewart? Yes, so I can't see it's going to make a lot of difference, but I'm going to put the round side inward. So there's the number 4 pipe off, and as you can see, not a lot of room to play with in terms of drilling a hole, because that was outside the Y fitting, right, that mark. So not a lot of room to play with to get a hole in there. It doesn't have to be very big though. I don't know. I'm still thinking on that one. And of course the other issue is actually getting to it with a drill. So the number 4 pipe, not a problem, kind of 90 degrees to the bike. If we want to put one on the number 3 pipe, i.e. that one, that could be more tricky. You've got to come at it from underneath. And I do have this clever device which I bought. I don't know that I've ever used it, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, that's clever, I need one of them. So basically this, you put the drill in and you can drill at right angles or whatever. So I might try that. Yeah, ironically we've got a load more room to play with on the number 3 pipe, which I forget if that was the one that was welded or bolted. I think that was the one that was bolted, which kind of makes sense in that case. So if I cut that shorter, everything would move further forward, I suppose, but I don't really want to do that either. And it would be nicer if I am going to use the screw method, bolt method, whatever, to do it on the inside one underneath where nobody can see it, because that's the kind of guy I am. If you can't see it, don't matter what it looks like, right? Right, now we've got everything we need. And just in case the exhaust gaskets are like they were on the Honda and keep dropping out, I'm going to goop them in, because we're already juggling 4 pieces, right? We don't need to be juggling 5. Now we've got everything we need. Yes, we forgot the goop. Excellent, we're all gooped up with our gaskets. So the trick here would appear to be, obviously, I suppose, to use the green bit to push those 2 sleeves up against the end here, and then everything's in place. Then it's just a question of pushing it into the slot, getting it over the bolts, and trying to get the nuts on with your other hand. Yeah, easier. Well, it is easy, apart from, you know, getting your whichever hand in the limited space available to put the bloody nut on. But I managed it quite easily, I have to say. Alright, number 3 pipe on. Just needs snugging up a little. Alrighty, that's that snugged. Just tight enough. Yeah, not even. Yeah, just not crushing. So this time around, this doesn't add up because the outer pipe is longer than the inner pipe, which is not how I remember it. But I think I might have had them on the wrong way the first time. So I had the 3 on the 4 and the 4 on the 3. So, what I'm going to do is definitely cut this outer pipe. I'm going to take like at least ½ an inch off it, so it does line up. And honestly, at this point, I don't care if they're wrong way round. Well, I've checked with the other side, and this would appear to be correct. So I think on my test fit, I might have got them the wrong way round. Yeah, this makes total sense. If you look at this, both the pipe and the inner pipe are cut, right? Whereas this one, which is the one that unbolted, just the inner pipe is cut. The edge of the outer shell is clean, and therefore that's why it's longer. So, yep. That's more like it. Cool. Alright, let's put the other doofer on and see where it all lines up. Like that. Beautiful. Yeah, it certainly went on further on both pipes, and as you push it, obviously it kind of changes the angle and everything, which we'll have to bear in mind. Well, actually, I'm going to fit the other bit on the end, see where we need that. It's not a laughing matter. I need help. So I'm thinking something like that as the end game. We might need to twirl this round anti-clockwise a little bit if we're gonna put a muffler silencer on and tie it up to that rear foot peg mount. But yeah, that can happen. It's a little bit short, honestly, with that in the way to do that if we have to, but we probably won't have to. Yes, because this is Arizona and we don't care about long hair. I mean loud pipes. Name that tune. Oh, wrong camera angle. So there we go. There's our 2 new marks. It's the further one rearward on the rearward pipe. But yeah, they're nice and even, and we've got plenty of meat to be able to drill a hole. So that's what I'm going to do. Does that sound crazy, drilling a hole in an exhaust pipe? If you haven't worked out that I'm crazy by now, then you need to catch up. And I think I'm going to use one of these boys. Yeah. I haven't really got much option, because obviously I can't get inside there. So I'm going to use one of the aforementioned good quality Milwaukee drill bits. Let's see how that goes. Well, that worked. And I could have probably used one size bigger on the drill bit, but I wanted to be conservative, so it was a bit of a bastard getting that in, but we got that. And that's going to screw up the next owner, of course, because that's a 5/16, not a metric size. God bless America. Anyway, yeah, good. So we're kind of there. I'm going to put the other bit on just for the hell of it. And that's one side buttoned up. I'll do the other side. I won't bother filming any of that because it'll be the same process. Hopefully a little bit easier with lessons learned. And there we go. All buttoned up on one side. And yes, the bolt is kind of under here. Yeah, because I posted this on KZ Owners Forum or whatever the hell it was. And Tom pointed out that it would be a lot neater if the bolt wasn't visible here. Yeah, because everyone's eye level is fucking 6 inches off the ground. Not. Anyway, I have taken his advice. It's the attention to the detail. So there it is. One side of the exhaust system. Job done. Well, not because we haven't tightened up these, because we're going to replace them with the greenies when we get the greenies, which could be God knows, Christmas. Anyway, I'll just get on with the tediousness of the other side and not show you that, as I said already, and leave it there, and you can see the result in a following episode. Which means you'll need to subscribe if you haven't already, down here. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, which I assume you did because you're still watching it, so give it a thumbs up. It would be a big favour. Yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and do tune in again. And yeah, you know, if you've got any other idiotic mates that you might think might enjoy this, yeah, encourage others to watch my lunacy.